Hey everybody, Johnny Kashmere here for Wrestling with Reality. This is my YouTube channel. I'm going to be talking about a lot of things on this channel, so it doesn't have one specific variation to it, which is why I called it Wrestling with Reality, because we are going to cover pro wrestling, of course. You know, I was a pro wrestler for over 13 years and an event promoter, and I still follow it and have many friends in the wrestling business, so I'm definitely going to cover pro wrestling. I also collect wrestling figures. So we're going to be talking a little bit about that at times. But the whole wrestling with reality thing, we're going to be talking about the Mandela effect. That is like my new passion. I have been studying it for hours upon hours, and it just never ceases to amaze me. It is ridiculous, some of the things I've found. And I want to share a lot of that with you because something's definitely going on. I also want to cover some things like maybe we'll cover religion, maybe we'll cover spirituality, maybe we'll cover things like Making a Murderer, Netflix TV shows. I'm all about TV shows. And of course, you can always check out my Smoke Break Live genre of episodes, which is me at work on break having a cigarette. And those Smoke Break Live videos are designed for people to watch if they are going to have a cigarette and don't really have anyone to talk to. Okay, so let's see what we got here. So I'm going to show you an example of what I'm talking about, okay? This is the Mandela effect. So my family's from Italy, so I'm pretty, familiar with Italy. And my cousin just showed up here from Italy last week, and we hung out together. And on her phone, she brought up this image of Italy. And I couldn't believe, look at how close Sicily is to the mainland. I mean, she said it's close enough that you should be able to drive across it, but there is no bridge. That it's, you have to take a ferry, but like the car goes on the ferry. But this was never that close. I mean, come on, it really looks almost like it's connected. Sicily used to be way out over here. I remember that. I swear I remember it, so I know some of you do too. Let me know in the comments if you remember Sicily being a lot farther away from the boot than that. I mean, come on. That's pretty much one continuous landmass. It was never like that. And then how about the world map itself? Okay, I live right here. Okay, right in New Jersey. Okay, so that little thing there is Delaware. This is New Jersey, so I'm right here. And I've been to South America, and I remember that I was located directly north of like Rio de Janeiro, which is all the way over here. Okay? Look at that. Now I'm directly north of Colombia. It never used to be like that. And the fact that South America moved so far east, estimated about 1,200 miles east on these maps, it stretched out Honduras, Nicaragua, Costa Rica, Panama, Guatemala. So now the Panama Canal, which connects the East and the West, the Pacific and the Atlantic, it now runs north and south. The Panama Canal runs north and south. Now, I learned about it in grade school when it was like a big deal. And it ran east to west. So I don't know why this is happening exactly, but it is. And also, look how small the Atlantic Ocean is now. I mean, we used to always say, yeah, the Pacific is the biggest, but it was kind of close. Look at this. This is nothing. I don't know. Doesn't make sense to me, but that's one of the big ones, the map. The other big one is, according to Neil deGrasse Tyson, we used to be in the Sagittarius arm of the Milky Way galaxy. Okay, so check this out. So here's the Sagittarius arm right here, okay, as you can see. And we used to be in that, our sun, everything. Now look where we are. We're in the Orion arm. And they have video of Neil deGrasse Tyson saying we are in the Sagittarius arm. And he says it in front of other scientists who agree with him. So it's not like he just made a mistake, okay? I mean, the guy does, for a living, goes on the television talking about things like this. He's not going to get that wrong. So the Mandela effect, somehow we have completely moved in time and space. And this jump here is a big deal. I mean, looking at it right here, it doesn't seem like a big deal, but it is a big deal. So, I don't know, make of that what you will. I really don't even know what to say. It freaks me out. And then how about all these weird animals that are around now, right? Like the Sagaya antelope. Have you guys seen this? Okay, now come on. Now does that thing look like it really exists on Earth? And why have we not heard of this by now? I mean, come on, I have studied plenty of animals, okay? I would have known if this thing existed. Huh, whatever. Okay, how about this one? You're not going to believe this one. The poodle moth. Now please, come on. People would have these things as pets. There's no way these things existed till recently. Look at them. I mean, they look fake. They look like Christmas tree ornaments. Are you kidding? I mean, seriously. There are all kinds of weird moths now. There's the flannel moth. Check this one out. Okay. Alright, and these things are very poisonous, by the way. I mean, come on. Look at this. That's what the caterpillar did to her. I mean, ridiculous. Look at this thing. You're telling me this thing's always been around and we just never saw it? I mean, come on, look at this. These things are crazy. Look at this guy. Oh my goodness. I don't know. Maybe some of these were around, but there is no way that they were all around. There's no way. I mean, I have a complete list of things. Okay, how about this? How about vampire deer? You guys seen this? Look, that's real. That is real. They're called like tuft deers or something because they have a tuft of hair. I mean, please. Okay, I actually wrote down all of these new things from the Mandela effect. Alright, I want to show this to you. Look at this. Okay, I put all different things that I've found in the last few days. I've written it down on this piece of paper so I don't forget. Look how many there are. Okay? So we're going to go through some of these so you can see them. You're not going to believe your eyes. Okay? So there. So how about this? Did you know this existed? The Rainbow Mountains of China. Now come on. You're telling me there wouldn't be paintings of this? This wouldn't be like hung up in everyone's living room? This actually exists, people. Actually exists. I don't remember it. Okay, now there's also rainbow eucalyptus trees. Check these guys out. I mean, are you kidding? Like, for real? These things really exist? I mean, you'd think during the 70s when people were driving the Volkswagen vans and flashing the peace sign that, you know, they would be hanging out near these things smoking weed, but nope, no one's ever heard of them. Look at this. These things are real. Come on now. See, these things exist in the Orion spur that we're on, the Orion arm, but they did not exist in the Sagittarius arm, is my opinion. Now here, I'm going to blow your mind big time here. Did you know that cats, some cats now have wings? Yeah, they have wings. Look at this. That's not photoshopped. And they can flap these wings, by the way. Let's see. Watch this. Okay, here, winged cat. Watch. You're not going to believe this. Look at this.
Göster kanatlarını.
And there's tons of these. And they can actually flap their wings, so there's like muscles in there. It's not just some weird deformation. These things can flap. Look at this. Okay. Winged cats, thank you. Thank you very much. Okay. Weird. Alright, winged cats. So there you go. And it's like no big deal. People are like, oh yeah, there's always been winged cats. What's the big deal? What's the big deal? There's another moth. They seem to really be changing. Look at these things. Look at the legs or whatever these weird things are on the back of this moth. Now please. If these things existed, we would have seen them by now. Look here, they got little like legs coming out of them. Have you ever seen anything like that in your life? Okay? And if you ask people, they say, oh yeah, it always existed. It's nothing new. Oh yeah, nothing new, alright. How about this? Do any of you remember water bridges? Because I sure don't. Suddenly they're all over the place. Okay, check this out. I mean, it's actually quite beautiful. It's a bridge with water for boats. I mean, look how complicated and complex these things. Look, here's a road that goes underneath the water, but the water can still go over it. I mean, isn't that like the opposite of what a bridge should be? And apparently these are everywhere. These are all over the world. Look. Water bridges. Okay. I'd like to see a water bridge in person, to be honest with you. Alright. Let's see what else. There's so many more here. I'm not going to be able to get through all of them, but... okay, how about... Let's see. How about the blue dragon sea slug? Have you seen this thing? Doesn't look like it should exist on Earth. I mean, it's beautiful. But look at that. Look at this thing. Look at the arms. And they can move each one of these little tentacles. I've seen it. I've seen videos of these things. Look how small they are. I mean, they're beautiful. Some of them are a little bit bigger, but... I mean, look, there's a big one. But, you know, you'd think that we would have seen it by now, these things. I don't know. I've never seen anything like that in my life. And I used to have a book with all the different animals in it. It was huge. And I used to just look through it when I was a kid. It had every type of animal, the birds, the reptiles, everything. And there was never anything even close to that. How about this one? How about the split screen sunset? Wait till you see this crap. Look at this. Look. This exists. Okay, and they're happening everywhere. Now, the news people will say to you, oh, well, there must be a topology feature in this mountain right here that blocks half of the sun. But come on. How is that going to happen? Think about that for a second. And look at how many there are. There are so many. This has happened so many times. All over the world. Like what? Split screen sunsets. Something's going wrong. Because that's weird. Alright, how about... What else do we have here? How about the fact that human ribs regenerate now? If you cut out a human rib, it will regenerate. I don't ever remember that. And the kidneys are way up underneath the rib cage now. I mean, there used to be this wrestler, Ludwig Borga, who used to hit you in the kidneys. That wouldn't be possible to do today. Look at this. You can actually see everything inside this frog. Look. You can see the eggs. You can see his heart. You can actually see the heart beat. I've seen videos. Strange, right? So since we were doing the rainbow trees and the rainbow mountains, there's a pink lake in Australia. Now, they say it's from algae, but still. I mean, come on. Look at this. You're telling me that we have not heard of this thing? That should be on postcards. That should be everywhere. Unbelievable. Alright, and how about paintings? How about art that has changed? Okay? So how about this? We'll do American Gothic painting. Okay? Check this out. Okay. Do you remember her being this young? I mean, look at her next to him. What is it, his daughter now? That's supposed to be his wife? And he's looking directly at us. She's looking away now all of a sudden. I don't remember it looking like that. I'm sorry. I don't. Okay, how about this? I don't know how to spell it, but the Sistine Chapel ceiling. Okay, watch this. Alright, so here we go. Man and God. God is reaching to man, and it is straight across. Didn't it used to be God reaching down to man? Didn't it used to have a slant, like an angle? Not anymore. Not anymore. Isn't that weird? And another cool thing about this is Michelangelo used to dissect cadavers, and this God is actually in the shape of a human brain, if you notice. It was like a little inside thing saying that God is with us in our consciousness, in our brain. But that's not all in the Sistine Chapel. There's also something else on the ceiling that supposedly has always been there. Yeah, you're reading that right. God mooning. Okay? Watch this. Oops. There's God's butt. God's butt. Okay? Here's God, and here's his butt. And apparently there's even like a line where God says, I will show him my back parts. And so that's what this was made from. A line in the Bible. But even the Bible's not safe, because lines in the Bible have changed. You know, where it used to say the lion shall lay with the lamb, it now says the wolf shall dwell with the lamb. I mean, come on. It was never like that. Suddenly the word Easter is in the Bible. It was called Passover back then. So see, look at this. Straight across. Straight across. It used to be at an angle. I remember seeing it at an angle. Okay? Here's one more. Let's look at the Last Supper painting by Leonardo da Vinci. Okay, let's get a nice big one of this. Let's see if we can see this big. Alright, not too big, but you can sort of see it. Okay? So, there's actually glasses on the table. Glasses! Even though they didn't have glass back then. They didn't know how to make glass. But there are actually glasses on the table now. Look at them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Do you see these glasses? 8, 9. Okay? Now, in the Da Vinci Code movie, Ian McKellen says, look at the table. Not a single cup. And they looked at it and went, yeah, you're right. Okay? So when the Da Vinci Code movie was made, there were no cups on the table at all. Now there's glasses. Ridiculous. And look at this. Suddenly you can't see Christ's feet. There's like this weird, I don't even know what it is, like a doorway, a portal of some kind, I don't know, a beam, a pillar, something is here. So you can't see Christ's feet, and you used to be able to see Christ's feet. Oh boy. How about the Scream statue? Or the Scream painting? Check this out. Now, do you remember this thing's face looking like this? I mean, I guess that's not too bad. But I just remember it being much more spooky. It's like not even spooky anymore. But there are a few versions of it, so we'll let that one slip. Alright. How about... Let's see. Oh, here's one. Uncle Sam. Okay. This is the most famous poster. I want you for the U.S. Army. Right? Look at his hat. No red stripes. And they're saying it's always been that way. Now, come on. Now, you know there were red stripes in that hat. I mean, look at all these... The hat has red stripes. Why would they make it without red stripes? But they're saying that's how it's always been. Look at this. Are you kidding? Are you kidding? Like, that hat doesn't even scream America to me the way it's supposed to. It's just a white hat with stars. Unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable to me. Uncle Sam has changed. Ugh. Okay, how about this? Did you know that chickens, it's called a phoenix chicken, and they have tails that are up to 11 feet long? Did you know this? Okay, here's an example of one. Look at that. That's a few feet. Okay, I've never seen anything like that in my life. Okay, but there are ones, I've seen them on YouTube. Look up Phoenix chicken. There are ones with 11-foot tails. Okay, and like the people that own them have to keep like straightening the tail so that it doesn't trip them and break their legs. The birds. Phoenix chicken tail. Let's see if we can see one of these long ass tails. I mean, these are long, but it's nothing. There we go. All right, check that out. Are you kidding? Are you kidding? I mean, look. Look at this. Come on now. What is this? They should call them Rapunzel chickens. And by the way, chickens can fly now. They didn't used to be able to. Now they can. So can turkeys and peacocks, which is strange to me. Because in my world, they did not fly. Okay, so all these weird things are changing. And there's now black chickens with black chicken eggs and just such weird stuff, man. Alright, how about this? Horned pig. Have you ever seen this thing before? Supposedly it's been around forever. Okay, supposedly it's always been here. And get this, I read that the top two tusks here, they grow and they curl, and if they're not clipped and taken care of, they will grow into the head of the pig. Into their head. Are you kidding? I keep saying, are you kidding? But this is just, what do you say about this stuff? You're telling me this is how it always was? I don't think so. And how about this? Ready? Did you know there are pigs that have fur, like sheep? Now, come on. Come on. This never existed. I mean, look at this. Look at that pig. Now, pigs are the only species other than humans that can get suntan. Okay? Believe me, these things are not getting suntanned. Look at them. Woolly pigs. You've got to be kidding me. My goodness. That just pisses me off. Alright, what else do we have here? Alright. Well, snakes can fly now, but that's not that big of a deal. Okay, we have these real big bats now. I mean, I've seen vampire bats that are big, but these bats are ridiculous. Okay? These things are ridiculous. They're huge. They're called Megacryoptera. Whatever. Okay? And how about this? Have you ever heard of a raccoon dog? Oh, apparently they're a thing. Yeah, they've always been around. Look at this. A cross between a dog and a raccoon. Are you kidding? For real? I mean, I don't know if they've been tamed or if they're just in the wild, but these are actual raccoon dogs. I mean, people do keep them as pets, but have you ever heard of that? Have you ever heard of a dog that looks like a raccoon? How about this? You're not going to believe these things. Oh yeah, there are monkey flowers now. Look at this. Sure. Oh sure. Yep, always been around. Yep, always had monkey flowers. You didn't know that? Yep, they've always been there. I mean, come on now. Monkey flowers. Look. I mean, come on. For real? I don't know. I can't. I can't. And these are natural. These are real. It's not like they've been bred to look this way. This is just how they appeared. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Sure. Sure. Okay, how about the monkey? While we're on monkeys, there's a monkey bat now. Let's see this. Okay, monkey bat. Are you kidding? I don't remember any monkey bats, but now they exist. Okay, the monkey bat. Weird. So weird. Now there's a spider named after Gryffindor from Harry Potter. Okay? Look at this. A spider with like a weirdo hat on his head. Okay? So they obviously just found this thing if it's named after something from Harry Potter. But still, like, what? And they're in India. Someone would have found these things before. Think how many people there are in the world. There's not many places for these things to hide anymore. And it's not like these things are coming from deep in the ocean, you know? Alright. We'll do one last one here. How about giant squirrels? You guys seen these things? Look at them. Look at the colors. First of all, have you ever seen a squirrel these colors? Okay, it's the Indian giant squirrel. And these things are giant, by the way. Like, let me see if I can find something that puts it in perspective with, like, a person. So you can see just how big these friggin' things are. They are ridiculous. I can't find anything. They're way bigger than a normal squirrel. Okay, look. I mean, oh, that's stupid. Sorry. Come on, where is it? Show me it next to a person. Well, here it is on a person's shoulder. Look at the size of that squirrel. Look at the size of that thing. That is a squirrel. I mean, around here we have squirrels everywhere. And this is what they look like. Just a little squirrel. But that's another giant squirrel. But it's hard to tell how giant they are in these images because there's no frame of reference. But trust me. Alright, now real quick, before we're done, I just want to show you some human anatomy. Now, I studied human anatomy just 3 or 4 years ago, okay? So I remember a lot of it. And some things have absolutely changed. I don't care what anyone says. I just learned it. I remember. Alright, we need it from the back. Let's show you the kidneys. Kidneys location. Here we go. Watch this. Look how high up they are. Underneath the rib cage. Look, the ribs are still... Alright, here, let me show you this. Look at the ribs. And now they're being covered. Now, you used to punch someone right here and you were hitting them in the kidney. Okay, and if you got them real good, they would pee blood. Okay, I was a boy. I was a kid. We used to play, and you'd hit people in the kidney. There was a wrestler, Ludwig Borga. He used to do the kidney punch, and he would lift people's arm and hit them right in the kidney. Well, that wouldn't work today. I mean, come on. They were never that high. Ever. Ever, ever, ever. Alright, and last thing we'll do the heart location. Alright, now you remember, put your hand on your heart, right? Say the Pledge of Allegiance. Look at that. That's almost dead set in the center. Our heart used to be like way over here. Okay? Now I realize it's not a huge move, but still, think about this. Your heart has moved without us knowing it. And everyone just thinks, no, it's always been there. Nothing changed. Alright. I'll do one last one that I find funny. I'll do a few last ones. Depends, right? Depends diapers. We all remember it. Did you know it's always been Depend with no S? Never had an S. Ever. Now, I remember it having the S. Okay? Now, how about this? Fruit of the Loom? Fruit of the Loom logo has never had a cornucopia on it. Look at it. Never a cornucopia. Now look, here's something making fun of it, using the Fruit of the Loom as a joke, the Kern County Soccer Park, and they even have a cornucopia in there. So people remember the cornucopia. Let me tell you, when I was a kid, I remember looking at the Fruit of the Loom logo. This is how we remember it, okay? And this was made by someone in Photoshop to show the alternate memory. But this is how I remember it. And I remember being a kid and saying, Mom, why is all the fruit coming out of a horn? I remember thinking it was a horn. And she had to explain to me, no, it's a cornucopia. Now, that conversation would have never happened if what people are saying is true. And it never had a cornucopia. No, come on. Ridiculous. All right. And finally, Publishers Clearinghouse. Now, when I was younger, this was a big deal. Okay, they would send you a catalog in the mail to buy magazines. And supposedly, even if you didn't buy magazines, you send it back and you're in the running to win $1 million or however much, at least $1 million. And Ed McMahon was the spokesman for it. Okay, Johnny Carson's old sidekick, Ed McMahon, on The Tonight Show. And he would come to your house and present the check, and it was like this big deal. Well, now they're saying that Ed McMahon was never the spokesman for Publishers Clearinghouse, and that Publishers Clearinghouse never even had a spokesman. Now, there is video on David Letterman of Johnny Carson presenting Letterman with a check saying, oh, well, sorry, Ed couldn't be here, but he gave me the check to give to you. There's video, if you look at The Golden Girls, there's a scene where Rose, Betty White, answers the phone and says hello, and she goes, oh, what? I may have already be a winner of the Publishers. Ed McMahon's going to come to the house? Okay, so something changed here, people. Okay, to me, depends. Fruit of the Loom and Publishers Clearinghouse are three big Mandela effects. Something has changed in this reality, all right? Anyway, so this was our first video. I'm just giving it a try. If there's anything you want me to talk about, leave it in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe and to check the little bell. I'm going to try to make these as much as I can. So I hope you guys enjoy it. Have a great day. God bless.